Hello everybody and welcome to our e-class learning concerning vocab. I'm Miss Mariam Amer, English teacher for Prep 2, and I'm here today to cover with you Module 3 under the title of Experience the World. In this module, guys, we will find that there are a lot of people, they are traveling to foreign languages, to foreign countries for a variety of reasons. Some do so for business opportunities or business meetings. Others do it because they like visiting new countries and they like acquiring new experiences and new languages. Now guys, let's start our PowerPoint presentation from slide 2. A far cry from. A far cry from, guys, it's an adjective. To be completely different from something. Accompany, it's a verb. To go with someone or to be provided or exist at the same time as something. Concerned with, it's worried about something. Delight, it's a noun. Great pleasure, satisfaction or happiness. Cater for, it's a verb. To provide what is wanted or needed by someone or something. Let's move on to the next slide. Slide 3. Educate, it's a verb. To teach someone, especially using the formal system of school, college or university. Educated, it's an adjective. Having learned a lot at school or university, and having a good level of knowledge. Exhaust, it's a verb. To make someone extremely tired. Frequent, it's an adjective. Happening often. Improvement, it's a noun. When something gets better or when you make it better. In other words, used to introduce an explanation that is similar than the one given earlier. For example, guys, in your writing an essay, you can use in other words to clarify. Invaluable, extremely unuseful. Joy, great happiness, and it's a noun. Let's move on to slide 4. Monument, it's an old building or place which is an important part of a country history. Political, it's an adjective relating to politics. Railway, it's a noun. Railroad. Refer to, it's a verb. To talk or write about someone or something, especially in only a few words. Reproduce, it's a verb. To produce a copy of something or to be copied in a production process. Let's move on to the next slide, slide 5. Seasickness, it's a noun. We will find also, guys, another word, shipwreck. It's an accident in which a ship is destroyed or sunk at the sea, especially by hitting rocks. Stage, it's a noun, a part of an activity. Take something in to include something. The arts, it's a noun. The making or showing or performance of painting, acting, dancing, and music. Thrifty, it's an adjective. Showing careful use of money, especially by avoiding waste. Tourism, the business of providing services such as transport, places to stay, or entertainment for people who are on holiday. Tourist, someone who visits a place for pleasure and interest, usually while they are on holiday. Let's move on to the next slide. Slide 6. Industry. Industry, it's a noun. The companies and the activities involved in the process of producing goods for sale, especially in a factory or special area. View, it's a verb. To watch something, and also you can use it as a noun. I can say, I will watch the view. Wealth, it's a noun. A large amount of money or valuable possessions that someone has. Wealthy, I can say this man is very rich, this man is wealthy. Let's move on to the next slide, slide 7. As you see now, guys, we have prepositional phrases like in and on. I can say in a hurry, in a mess, in cash, in charge of, he is responsible for something, in debt, in somebody's interest, in particular, in public. And I can use on, like on behave of, on display, on fire, on good terms, on purpose, on sale, on second thought, on the phone. Let's move on to the next slide, and let's complete now the prepositional phrases like in tears, in the future, in the long run, in the meantime, in the mood for, in trouble, on the run, on the verge of, on tour, on vacation. We have, guys, some phrasal verbs and they are very important, like get along with, to have a good relationship. Okay? For example, guys, I can say try and get along with each other. Get around to find time to. For example, I can say I didn't get around to calling you until today. Get away from, to manage, to leave or escape a place. For example, I can say she was tired from stressful life and dreamed of getting away from it. Get by, to manage, to live. For example, you can say we can get by if we are careful with our money. Get down to turn your efforts and attention to. For example, you can say break is over, let's get down to business. Then let's move on to get through to contact somebody by phone. Let's move on to take. I have some phrasal verbs like take after, to be similar in appearance or character. For example, guys, you can say Ali takes after his father. Take down, to lower something from a higher position. For example, my book is on the shelf and I take it down. Take in, to understand the new information. For example, you can say I take in what are you saying. Take off, to fly or to leave the ground. For example, you can say hurry up, the plane will take off. Take on, to accept an activity. We have also another phrasal verb, take over, to get control over. For example, you can say Ali will take over the responsibility of caring for the animals. Take up, to start a hobby. I decided to start up the piano again. Okay? Now, guys, let's move on to the next slide. It will be slide 10. We have now, guys, some words and we have to differentiate between them, like tour. A journey made for pleasure, visiting several different places in an area. They have just come back from a tour. Trip, a short journey to a place and back again, especially a short one for pleasure or particular purpose. For example, you can say, do you want to go on the school trip to France this year? Journey, it's a trip from one place to another. For example, you can say, I love going on long journeys. Let's move on to the next slide. Slide 11. Share. Share, to use something with somebody at the same time. For example, you can say, I share a house with 4 other people. Divide, to make something separate into parts. For example, you can say, the top and bottom sections are quite difficult to divide. Distribute, to give something to many people, like their teacher distributed a review for the exam. Let's move on to slide 12. Stranger, a person that you don't know, like my mother always warned me not to talk to strangers. Foreigner, a person who is from a different country. For example, you can say, it will soon be impossible for foreigners to enter the country. Immigrant, a person who has gone to a different country in order to live and work there. For example, you can say, many of immigrants have intermarried with the island's original inhabitants. Let's move on to the next slide, slide 13. Depart, to leave or to go away, especially on a journey. For example, you can say, the train for London departs from platform 2. Disembark, to get off a ship or aircraft after a journey. For example, you can say, all the passengers or preparing to disembark from the plane. Set off, to begin a journey. What time will we have to set off for the station tomorrow? Let's move on to slide 14. Ticket. What's meaning of ticket? It's a piece of paper indicating that someone has paid for a journey. How much is a one-way ticket to New York? Fare. The money that is paid for a journey on a bus, train, or in a taxi. Like train fares are going up again. Price. The amount of money that something costs. For example, you can say, the large supermarkets are offering big price cuts. Let's move on to slide 15. Delay, to make something happen at a later time than was originally planned. For example, you can say, could you delay the meeting for a few days? Postpone, to delay an event or plan and decide that it should happen at a later time or date. They decided to postpone their holiday until next year. Cancel, to decide that an event had been organized beforehand will not happen. For example, you can say, they have had to cancel tomorrow's football match because of the bad weather. Let's move on to the next slide, slide 16. Get to arrive at or reach a place. For example, you can say, after a lot of effort, he got to the station. Reach, to arrive at the place that you have been traveling to. They finally reached the coast after 5 weeks sailing. Come, to move towards or travel with the person speaking. For example, you can say, there is a car coming. Arrive, at or in. To get to a place, especially at the end of a journey. Like, what time will your train arrive? Number 17. As you notice now, guys, we have finished this part and we are ready to answer some questions regarding to Module 3. I will start now, guys, to answer with you now on slide 17. And I will start reading now sentence number 1. On page 2 of your handout, you will find a list of the books that I have to during the lecture. Yes, that's very good. The correct answer will be referred. Number 2, it gave me a real thrill to see her again after so many years. Yes, guys, the correct answer will be thrill because this is the suitable word. Number 3, wearing seat belts in cars is compulsory by law. Yes, it's mandatory. And this is for today, guys. This is regarding to Module 3 Vocab for Prep 2. Thank you for your concentration. Goodbye.